jump on this team early. Let's go. Work on three. 1, 2, 3.
Toronto, Ontario, Canada's largest city, and its center for culture and commerce. Hockey is king up here. And Toronto's team has earned their spot in the people's hearts and in history. Ironically, the Toronto Huskies played the NBA's first game ever in 1946. But that game and that team are just a faded memory. Now, the Raptors are Toronto's team, and they are trying to create a lasting imprint. When NBA basketball returned to Toronto in 1995, there were questions as to whether it would survive this time around. But the arrival of supernova Vince Carter in 1999 changed everything.
360 spinning put down by Vince Carter. Goodness gracious, that was a highlight film play.
Crazy. That's how I win, baby. That's how I win.
He brought an identity to a team that didn't really have one. You know, they were the little dinosaur guys. They were an afterthought in the NBA, but Vince Carter gave them a legitimacy.
Where would the Raptors be without Air Carter to Carter?
He sort of made the city count in the world of basketball.
Vince carried the Raptors to 3 consecutive playoff appearances, igniting the city.
Amazing! Vince Carter has hit his 8th three-pointer in a row. Now that is your franchise player, Vince Carter.
Oh man, those were the glory days. Oh man, I was just like, can't get no better than this.
Playoff fever had arrived in Toronto, and Carter had forged a deep connection with Raptor fans, and he would take them to within 1 shot of the Eastern Conference Finals in 2001.
Carter at the buzzer. No good.
Vince's shot missed by inches, and most thought that playoff run was just the beginning of Toronto's rise to the top. Instead, it was the end. As quickly as they had risen, the Raptors fell to the bottom of the standings, and Vince Carter asked to be traded, leaving the weight of the franchise on the shoulders of Chris Bosh.
After he left, you know, guys were like, oh, okay, well, looking at me like, and I'm looking like, what is it?
The Raptors' top draft pick in 2003, Bosh had the skills to be a star, but leading a team is a different story, especially for a teenager.
I was 19 years old. Toronto was putting my face on the ticket programs and things. I was seeing my face on the billboard. It was just a tough adjustment because I was so young.
Carrying a team was a burden too heavy for Bosh to bear alone.
On those slim shoulders, he's carrying quite a bit of weight.
The franchise was adrift, and it looked to first-time head coach Sam Mitchell to right the ship.
Sam, what's the number one thing you need to work on?
Keeping my emotions in check. When I get into the heat of the moment, making sure that I stay calm so that the players stay calm.
Hey, Chris, don't wait. As soon as you got it, go. Don't give him a chance to double team you, all right? Go. Don't give him a chance to double team you.
And right from the start, Mitchell made the gym a proving ground.
He challenged me constantly.
If I got to tell you that, you can't play.
He's a challenger.
I don't care who gets it. If it's a point guard and we get you the ball on the post, make a move and let's say come trap. I shouldn't have to tell you to want to score.
He was emotional. He was a young kid, relative kid, 2 years removed from playing, who would scream. He was out of control.
I ain't giving you nothing. You get nothing, Chris Bosh. Nothing.
There were some guys that wanted to just tune him up. Like, this is the rantings of a madman.
Sam Mitchell got rid of the gum, said, hey, let me get on with this.
He is all the way near midcourt, and he is animated, and he is out of here.
They all probably thought I was crazy. But what I wanted to get them to understand is, show me who wants to play.
Trying to change the losing culture of the team, Sam was testing the resiliency of his players. His own, however, was never in question as a player. He lasted 13 years in the league, surviving on his passion for the game.
He is the heart of this ball club. They call Sam Mitchell the team morale leader.
Yeah, good D, man. Hey, keep him out of there.
He served as a teacher for the young players, especially a 19-year-old Kevin Garnett, and provided a veteran's voice for the coaches.
We got guys right here. We talked about that today. They should be right there. Because you know that's
we weren't talking no Flip. Gotta let them know they ran that ISO play where they put the one guy shooting. Nobody, we got to remind the guy pushing left.
We got to talk, guys. That's what we talked about.
As the 2006 season began, Mitchell was left searching for a leader in his own locker room and a sharper focus on the court.
You cannot make those kind of mistakes. You cannot lose concentration.
And with the losses mounting, many wondered whether Mitchell was the right man for the job.
Everybody's questioning you. Everybody. You know, I get in a cab driver, like, hey, coach, what are y'all doing? You're 1-9.
Will Peterson, Chris Bosh looking on. Their ball club down big here at home.
It was killing me, man. I mean, it doesn't matter how hard you play, you're still on the losing end. That's a bad feeling. It just kept getting worse and worse. And it was a couple of days where I didn't want to go. You know, I was like, man, I don't want to play today. You know, I tried yesterday and we lost.
They go to 1-8 at home and 1-15 overall. And the Raptors are being booed off the floor.
I used to tell them all the time, we'll start winning when y'all won't tolerate certain things in this locker room.
As they sunk to 1-15, Chris Bosh would finally take Mitchell's message to the team in an emotional locker room outburst.
Sam was waiting on it. He was waiting on it. He was just sitting back and watching, and it was just like, okay, pressure's building up. He's about to explode. I was upset. It's like I was enough.
Chris just tore into him. He just lit into him. And I stopped the coaches. They was like, well, we need to get in. I was like, no, stay out. Because in order to win, I can't be the policeman in the locker room. I'm the coach. Winning teams police themselves. And by the time I walked in the locker room, now they knew if you didn't do what you're supposed to do, it wasn't going to be me coming in just getting on you. Even though we had lost the game, I knew then the loss was worth it.
Sam came to me and was like, you're the leader of this team now. It was time.
Let's go.
Sam Mitchell's work to transform Chris Bosh from star to leader had reached a crucial turning point. But the team was in a free fall, and whether or not Mitchell would last long enough to see the benefit was something even he didn't know. NBA Stories is brought to you by AdidasBasketball.com. It takes 5.
4.8 left. Cavaliers need a 2 to tie and a 3 to win it. Beats the buzzer and the Raptors.
The Raptors would stumble to a 27-55 record in 2006. And Sports Illustrated ran a poll that put Sam Mitchell on top of a list that no coach would ever want to be on.
They said I was the worst coach in the NBA. Sometimes words hurt worse than a punch in the face. A punch in the face, the sting will go away, but the lingering effects of what someone says about you can last a lifetime.
The Raptors had hit bottom, and it was time for them to make a change.
We said that we were going to strive to hire a president and general manager for the Raptors that was very experienced and proven in the NBA. Today, I'm delighted to announce that we have done just that.
The Raptors chose the reigning NBA Executive of the Year, Brian Colangelo, to run their franchise.
The Raptors were an afterthought for 5 years. They were just sort of another team in the league. But when Brian Colangelo decided this was a franchise worth working for, to build, his reputation in the league made people sit up and take notice.
It's terrific to see this kind of support. And we want to see you here next year during the games. Don't forget, all right? Thank
you. He had turned the Phoenix Suns into contenders. And now, the Raptors were expecting the same.
the first day he was here, you know, you felt that excitement, you felt that rush. You just like, we finally turned the corner.
Colangelo had raised the hopes of his players and a city hungry for a winner.
I was a little surprised and taken aback by the expectations of, you know, a team that won 27 games. You know, what are you going to do? How many rounds of the playoffs are you going to get to? Not about getting to the playoffs. It's like, how many rounds are you going to jump forward?
But as the son of Phoenix owner Jerry Colangelo, Brian had faced scrutiny his whole career.
I was Jerry's son. Jerry elevated himself to president, named me general manager. You know, there was this immediate focus on why I got the job. Did I deserve it? And I never really outran that question. There was always people that were going to, you know, question that. And that kept constant pressure on me.
For some, pressure can be an excuse to play things safe, but not for Brian Colangelo. He was a risk taker. Colangelo would sign a 28-year-old rookie from Spain, a former NBA bench warmer who had starred in Israel, and even hired an assistant GM from Italy. But he saved his boldest move for the draft.
You want to shake up the world tonight? With the first pick in the 2006 NBA draft, Toronto Raptors will select
Andrea Bargnani.
A lot of people, when Toronto went for Bargnani, were thinking, you know, Italians might be good for cars or pasta or beautiful women, but a basketball player? Come on.
Andrea, Brian Colangelo.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Very happy to have you as part of things, and look forward to having you come here and become the player that we think you're going to become. We know you're ready for the challenge, and we think you're going to be a terrific NBA basketball player, and we want you to be a star here in Toronto.
Perfect. Okay, so tomorrow we start to work. Okay.
We look forward to it.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
I used to call it the Brian Colangelo experiment because, you know, he was doing stuff on the fly that really hadn't been tried in the NBA. So because of his reputation, you go, I guess this is how you're going to do it. But I got to be honest, I mean, there was a lot of people going, how is this actually going to come together?
Colangelo had brought in 9 new players, but the question remained, would he bring in a new coach?
Obviously, when your new GM come in, he has ties with other coaches and other people, so you hear all those rumors. He starts there.
Colangelo would keep Mitchell, but it was clear that he expected results.
I felt like it was very important to give Sam a chance to succeed or fail and see whether or not he did have, you know, the makings to be a head coach working with me.
You got to take care of yourself. Guys, you got to concentrate. If you need extra work, you got to get in here and get, hey, the coaches are here.
And now Sam had the daunting task of making a cohesive unit out of a bunch of new faces, many of whom spoke English as their second language.
Jorge is more. Jorge speaks Italian, Spanish. What else? English, obviously. Yeah, English. Doesn't know Serbian. Doesn't know Slovenian. Doesn't know German. You do, yeah.
So-called, you got a free throw line jump shot. Look at the basket. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Hey, hold up. Guys, if we run a play and we get you the ball right here.
With the start of the 2007 season nearly upon them,
what do you think you should do?
Sam had little time to mold his new-look Raptors.
This shot right here. Can you make that shot?
It's the start of a long season, man. We're going to do it one play at a time, one game at a time.
Nothing there for TJ. It's a turnover. Joe Johnson turns Parker inside out and lays it in.
As the 2007 season began, it was the same old Raptors as they stumbled to a 2-8 start.
2-8 was not a happy time. I'm not a good loser, I'll admit.
Chris Bosh holding his head. Frustrating evening for the Raptors.
Everybody's looking at us like, well, what's going on?
General Manager Brian Colangelo had changed the roster and raised expectations, and it was up to his coach to meet them.
GMs do not want to hear, this guy ain't good enough. You know what they want to hear? How is he getting better? If he don't guard you, most times, you just shoot the ball. Let's go. What I realized was that I wasn't going to win unless my young guys developed. And so we needed them to play quickly, or we weren't going to have a chance.
With another season in danger of slipping away, Sam would do what he always did, challenge his young Raptors.
I said, you know what, we're going to find out who wants to play. I'm going to set the ball down in the lane. And it's one guy's job to go get the ball, it's the other guy's job not to let him get it. But what are the rules? There are none. There's the ball. Go get it. Once you learn how to shoot a little bit, your game got better.
Mitchell had been grooming Chris Bosh to be a leader since his arrival. And now, when the team needed it most, he would become its second voice.
Woo! Cross him! Damn! Yeah, baby!
When your teammates get on you, that stings a lot more than what the coach says to you. When the players are pissed at you, it makes long days.
I gotta instruct them sometimes.
Hey, get down, Rosso!
If somebody's messing up, you gotta tell them.
No bad pass this time, go ball.
I have to motivate them.
Bosh going solo gets blocked for Steve. Oh my Bosh!
8 seconds to shoot. Ford pulls up. Oh my! A vicious slam by Bosh.
That's how you go back at him.
I've called him the cornerstone. I've called him the core. I've called him, the main piece.
TJ Ford to Bosh, running the lane, big jab. Bosh looking like the Statue of Liberty.
To have a guy that embraces that challenge rather than runs from it, I think is unbelievable.
Behind their leader, the Raptors finally started to win.
Bosh for three! Oh my!
And it wasn't long before everything began to change. Just as Sam had envisioned it, the Raptors came together as a true team.
And take care of each other, encourage each other.
Garbajosa the lead pass, Calderon behind the back, Garbajosa in. Oh, baby, what a player!
Being unselfish, being a team guy, being a guy that's willing to go the extra, it's going to come back to you.
Parkin to Nesterovich, to Bosh, to Calderon. 8-9 touches on this possession. And Parker knocks down three.
It ain't gonna be your night for nothing. Boy, you're not your night, okay? It happens. You know what, man? That's why we're a team, man. Somebody else come in and pick us up. Like, guys, listen, you gotta get back to work tomorrow.
Parker, Ford, 10 seconds, Bargnani. Got it, counted in a goal. Oh my goodness. Onions, baby onions.
They play together, they stick together, they want to win together.
Raptors keep their winning streak alive. 5 in a row now.
And suddenly, Toronto became the team that kept finding new ways to win.
Ford with 3, with 2, with 1.
Raptors win! Raptors win!
This Toronto team that leads the Atlantic Division has won 13 of their last 17.
There are a lot of Fire Sam Mitchell fans at 2-8. He's won a lot of people over by the fact that this team plays hard, plays together, and wins.
Calderon, Garbajosa, Bosh for 3. Even that back in. Chris Bosh.
Sam was a survivor as a player. He's a survivor as a coach.
We're gonna play hard, we're gonna play together, but we're gonna have fun, all right?
And I think the team takes on that personality and that instinct.
Now the Wizards foul down the floor, and it's a deflection by Ruffin. And the play continues. Peterson got it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
The Raptors had achieved the biggest turnaround in the NBA, making the playoffs for the first time in 5 years. NBA Stories is brought to you by Lamisil. Get advanced.
Keep looking out for each other. Keep taking care of each other. Guys, remember what our goal is. Atlantic Division Champion. Hey, we put ourselves in that position. Let's go and start closing this thing out.
Sam Mitchell's Toronto Raptors have changed the perception of their team. Once a group of disparate players, they have forged an unbreakable bond, fitting for a city whose motto is diversity, our strength.
Everybody had this view of Canada, like it was so far away, like we were on the other end of the planet. And you realize those are just perceptions.
You know, it's funny, I never really thought about where I'd be. You know, I just wanted to be in the NBA. A lot of people were kind of iffy about Toronto, you know, like, yeah, it's another country, it's this, it's that. It was a beautiful day, boy. For me, it was an easy decision because I came here to win.
Remember last year they were 27 and 55. They tie a franchise mark for home wins here tonight. More after this.
Everywhere you turn, there's someone talking about Raptors basketball right now, and somehow we've made a basketball brand relevant in a hockey market, and I think we're accomplishing something.
Toronto is on the map in a certain way, and I think that's the most beautiful feeling.
Sam has done an outstanding job with this team.
The most important thing for this group is to get that taste of the playoffs. It's to get that feeling of excitement of being in the playoffs.
All right, Chris, we'll let you go. A pleasure. Thank you.
Congratulations.
What a ball game. CB4.
Raptors have the franchise's first ever division title.
Ah, you gotta love it.
Once they get a taste of that and it gets in their blood, then they're going to crave it and they're going to want more. This is just chapter 1. Hopefully a long, 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 exciting story.
Let's go. 4-1-3. 1, 2, 3.